Hi guys, welcome back to the Break Room Podcast. Busted balls as always. We're super excited to be here. Unfortunately, Vin is stuck in a wintry tundra, so he couldn't join us tonight.
That's right.
But he's here. You know,
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
I'm telling you, we're gonna have to get like green screens, and we're gonna have to put a filter on the people that can't be here, so that we can make them look like the holograms.
Yeah.
From Star Wars.
Jedi Council. I'll be Kiadi
What if the
Mundi.
droid attack on the Wookiees?
That's how they execute Order 66.
I'm telling you, fucking Kiadi Mundi.
If anybody was Kiadi Mundi, it's me.
Why are you Kiadi Mundi? You're
Because
fucking
I'm always
Obi-Wan
fucking
Kenobi.
leading the charge on the battlefield, and I turn around and all my friends left me for dead.
But you're Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, yeah, you know.
He can't be
can't- I
Kiadi
can't.
Mundi.
Hello there. What
Joe
it?
could be Kiadi
Hello
Mundi.
there.
Hello there. I beat the fuck out of you.
If we were all Star Wars characters, who would each one of us be?
That's what we're starting the show with. We already talked about this, Christopher.
Well,
I would be Darth Maul.
you think you'd
You
be
would be
Darth
Darth
Maul?
Maul.
'Cause I'm angry, red, and I'll beat the fuck out of you.
Who would Rob be?
Rob would
Jabba.
Can't help himself.
I
I feel like Vin would be Qui-Gon.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Gonna be
absolutely.
anyway. He's got the.
I
I
guess
guess-
I'd be a Jedi. I wouldn't be a Sith.
I would be a Sith. So would Chris.
No, I have too
You'd
much.
be a-
in-
you'd
I
be a
have too
smuggler.
much morals.
No.
You'd be a
I'll
smuggler.
I
I'll
would-
be the guy that owns the diner.
I'd be Watto if I'm
Oh,
anybody.
what do you know?
You'd be Watto.
I'd be Watto if I was anything.
me wrong. I get the faded the boy, but the bottom of that is going to win, I think. The other racer wins.
It's good.
La chupa de noia. It's like, what does that mean?
No money, no parts, no deal. And no one else has a T16 hyperdrive, I tell you that.
Speaking of high-tech technology, what do we have for them today, Rob?
Well, first and foremost, we want to give a shout out to Chris's little technological
Well,
terror
no,
over there. I definitely we
Start
got to
with
talk
your
about
thing.
it first.
That's
We gotta-
topic 2. You're fucking up the rotation.
I am
rotation.
fucking up the rotation, but I don't give a shit because we feel bad that we didn't get to talk about his theremin. That was supposed to be the last topic of last show.
All right. Well,
So let's pick up with that.
We'll
at
start
least
with
first.
the theremin. Then I've been getting a lot of questions. What is the theremin? What are you
Sounds like
talking
a
about?
fucking flu.
Right. So the theremin is you can't totally see it here. You know, the camera's blocking it. Whatever. You get the idea. The idea is you have 2 antennas, right? So I'm gonna power this on. This is an instrument that was created in like the 1920s, right?
Not this exact one.
All right. So see how well you can actually hear this.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, my child.
Can you hear it, Ben?
Nope.
No.
It's like a vibrational thing, so maybe it doesn't, mesh with the
You
microphone or
nothing
something.
there, Ben?
All I
is,
hear is like the last tone. It'll be like,
Wow.
People aren't
Damn.
going to want to hear this on stream. They're going to tune out.
It is fun, and it's made to make like sound effects and shit like that.
Well, so the theremin is what they use to make like the UFO, like the woo.
I was gonna say you could have made like sound effects for the next thing we're gonna be showing off.
What do we need sound effects for? We have you.
Yeah,
It's
true.
used in a lot of 80s, like a lot of even like wrestling, like 80s, like synth music.
Yeah, like fucking Pink
It's
Floyd.
it's
even
used in like
those
those transition
things,
scenes where you see like a logo pop up
Beach
on the
Boys,
screen
I
and it
think,
goes like
used it.
zoom.
How much did you spend on that?
I use gift cards to get this.
How much gift card money did you spend on that?
This is called the Moog Theramini. The Moog Theramini goes for like $350.
It's a lot of money.
And I got a couple of gift cards
Oh, yeah?
over time for the holidays. So I was going to get a guitar to further my career as Jackie Sangria, but then I fell in love
Then he
with this
got
thing.
himself a gift with no strings attached.
There you go,
hey.
exactly. Well, so the way that it works, and it sucks you can't hear it on the stream, but there's 2 antennas, right? So the closer you are to this antenna, the higher the pitch. And then the further away, the lower the pitch. And then for the left hand antenna, the closer you are to it, it's quiet, and then it gets really loud. An actual theremin sounds like a violin mixed with a human voice. It's actually a beautiful sound. This has a lot of different effects.
A lot of synth pianos replicate the sounds that thing make. It's
Well,
usually
so
a
this
setting
is a
on every
digital
synth piano.
version Because with music, or with sound, and I'm probably going to do a horrible job explaining it because I'm not a fucking audio engineer, but there's two types of audio. There's analog audio, which is like actual sound waves being recorded, and then there's MIDI music, which is like data, and it's blocks pretty much on a grid, and however high the block is the pitch, and however stretched out that block is the length of the note.
I mean, the early 2000s had a lot of MIDI music going around with like covers of all the Star Wars music and all that shit.
Right.
Cell phones used it. Yeah,
Fuck you with the cell phones.
But it's gotten very advanced that it can nowadays it sounds very real, and it's just a couple of different data things. But anyway, this is like a MIDI digital theremin. It's not going to sound as good as an actual theremin, but it's a really fucking cool instrument. You can look up videos of people playing music.
My dad was looking that up. He brought it last week, and
it's
my
a lot
dad
of
was
fun.
playing
Yeah,
around with it.
my parents, your dad, like people get a kick out of it. It's just like a cool thing to have at a
different,
party.
you know what I mean? And it's not like something where you have to tactilely handle the thing. It's not like a guitar where you have to hold it and like, all right, well, there's a specific way to make this. Anybody can make sound come out of that thing.
They call it an ether wave because the string is air. The string, it's an invisible string, really. However close you are to that antenna. And I just thought that's so fucking cool. You're like Doctor Strange. Like, if you can learn the precise hand gestures, which, again, it's like, there's this, like, I don't know what she is, like German or something lady, and she has, like, these hand motions that she does, and each precise hand movement, like, changes the pitch.
I'll give you a hand motion. Take that with you.
Turn that son bitch sideways.
You son bitch.
Imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin playing a theremin.
Oh, goddamn, I got a kick out of this
Goddamn kid, this
thing.
piece of shit.
You want to say you want Stone Cold Steve Austin to play the theremin? Give me a hell yeah!
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
and that's the bottom line.
It's a really cool, nifty instrument. I'll definitely be fucking around with it a little bit more. I guess it doesn't get picked up on the microphone for some reason, but
Whatever. Maybe we'll do a little video about it.
Yeah,
and we'll post it to the channel.
There's a lot of cool like audio tracking for like cinema, like or like it's just good for like background audio tracking and like
Ladies and gentlemen,
transition
get
effects.
yourself a theremin today.
Yeah, buy yourself a theremin. Highly recommend. But apart from that, you also got yourself something there, right?
Yeah, so I actually just revealed on my YouTube live about an hour ago. I finally got the Egon Spangler Proton Pack from HasLabs. I backed the project, and it's an impressive piece of tech. And Joe is going to try to bring it into frame here.
Exacted is in the house.
I backed this around the time that the movie was in the movie theaters. So this was got to be like a year ago, year and a half, something like that. But she's beautiful. She's not too heavy, about 15 pounds without the handle. And I actually attached my Neutrona wand. I wanted to have it powered for you guys tonight, but unfortunately, I don't have D batteries, and I mean I haven't had to buy fucking D batteries since the 2XL. So
Fucking D girl.
I just I don't understand why they.
I mean, I can understand why that takes D batteries, dude. That looks like something that would take.
He's just breaking my whole thing. See.
I really just thought he broke it for a second. I
No,
literally
it
thought
just,
the
it
thing
doesn't,
just snapped.
it doesn't sit on there very tightly, so this way you can just slide it off. Nope. Here,
No,
watch.
now you're freaking. Now
See,
it's
now?
breaking. Now
Watch.
it's
You just hear it like snapping and fucking.
Joe's just like, well, what if I just muscle it off? You know, like, no, stop.
That's phenomenal.
I can't see
Oh,
this fucking thing
wait,
either.
you gotta turn it. You got it? All right, there you go.
This
This is some shit show. See, this is why Joe isn't a
is Zacta
Ghostbuster.
TV says D batteries are expensive nowadays.
I'm sure they are, but this wasn't cheap either. So, but it's very cool. I can't wait to play
Can't
with it.
see it, yeah.
I really got to get a flight suit now. Really complete the Ghostbuster look. I do have the Spectro goggles that Matty Collector came out with a few years back, and I do have the original Neutrona wand that they came out with from that set. And what's that?
Where's this all coming from? Where are you getting this wand and this pack? 'Cause it's not something
So
you buy,
this
like-
wand and pack came from Hasbro. Hasbro does these campaigns called HasLabs where they get people to crowdfund different stuff from different brands. Like they had the Galactus one. They had one for even the Sentinel robots from X-Men. They did one that failed on, which I think was a stupid move on their part. It was the anniversary of Ghost Rider, so they did the new Ghost Rider with the car, like a super detailed version of the car. And it actually did not make the campaign, so it will not go into production.
What did it take to qualify this to get actually put into production?
I think it needed 5,000 backers, and I think they got well over 20,000 people backing it. They made so many stretch goals that it came with a bunch of stuff that it didn't originally come with. They were able to include some stickers, but what I thought was really cool, they come with Egon Spengler's journal, so you can actually, it chronicles all of his notes and stuff like that. So it's
now that's not 3D printed, right? Is that like a mold, like a mold?
It's plasticky.
Made?
So it is plastic, but they actually designed this based on pictures from the original props from the original movie.
Sure.
So this is 1-to-1 scale based on the actual prop. They really went through painstaking.
If that was metal, that would weigh like fucking
to duplicate every wire, every tube, because they know that Ghostbuster fans are fucking nuts about this shit, and they know that people are going to be able to spot authenticity or non-authenticity, and they actually built these things with cosplayers in mind because they're half the price and half the weight of one that you'd have to build for yourself, and they're customizable. So there are buttons and switches on the pack that actually don't do anything that you can actually program your own shit to do if you're savvy with that kind of thing, which I think is really fucking awesome. And the fact that you're able to take their previously released Neutrino wand and attach it as a power supply for the wand without having to have extra batteries, I think is a really, really nice touch. And that was actually one of the stretch goals, was to get the connector for the Neutrino wand to the pack. I think that was the first thing. And then if you backed it early enough, you got the slime. Now, one thing I was missing from this that I thought I was going to also get green slime, because it showed on the campaign that you're supposed to get both the white marshmallow sludge and the green. So I didn't see the green.
You sure it's
in there,
not in the
so
box somewhere we missed?
I mean, I looked all over. It was in that white box, and that white box didn't have any other kind of slime in there. So, but it was an intricate package to open up. It really made you feel like you had an experience opening up like a chest that Egon Spengler might have had, with compartments and shit that all the stuff that it comes with were in.
So like an unboxing video type packaging.
Exactly. And I did it. I actually went live on YouTube and opened it up and showed it off. But I unfortunately was not able to power it tonight. But like I said, I think I'm going to revisit this pack once I get some batteries for this baby. And I'll definitely power her on and show her off. And I'm going to have a lot of fun with that, because I always loved the Ghostbusters since I was a kid. And I explained on that live, and I'll explain one more time on the show, that when I was a kid, I think it was Universal Studios had a Ghostbusters show, and some people from the audience would get picked to wear a little proton pack and shoot the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and I got picked to shoot the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as a kid, and that just kind of really made me core memory Ghostbuster fan.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm I had to have this thing. And I've been wanting to do a Peter Griffin Ghostbuster forever. And what's really funny is just today in my Facebook memory, somebody had posted 7 years ago on my wall a picture of Peter Griffin as a Ghostbuster. So it's kind of full circle now.
It's canon.
I've been trying to do this for years. And I'm just going to have to get the outfit, and maybe I'll debut it at one of the cons that I'm doing this year.
Like a tan.
Yeah, well,
Like
it
a
depends on
light
which
suit,
movie you
yeah,
want to do
whatever.
too, because the Ghostbuster 2 suits were different color. They're actually a darker color, like a dark.
You got to
gray.
go original.
Which is the
But
one
I
with
am going to go
Vigo?
original. What?
What's the one with Vigo or whatever
Second
his name
one.
is?
Vigo is the second one.
I like
The
that one.
Carpathian.
Have
Vigo
is
the
the
Carpathian,
baby.
yeah.
That's a
Then
great
while
one.
we're talking about our toys here, your toy is kind of eclipsing you a little bit. So let's see you show it off there.
Because it says Green Bay Packer owner, so this can only be purchased if you are a shareholder of the Green Bay Packers, which I am.
Ooh.
And it's not a big deal. It's not anything cool. It doesn't have lights, but I got these for Christmas. My mom, thanks mom, hooked me up. Move this out of the way. So I got 2 really sweet
Ooh.
Green Bay Packer owner whiskey glasses.
That's fucking
So wait,
awesome.
did you like buy like stock in like is that what it is? Is like stock?
I have stock in the team. Yep, they're the only publicly owned company. It's not exactly the same as like let's say owning Apple shares or Google shares. They're non-voting shares. They don't give you direct power over the team, but
You get some
the way
nice
that
cups.
get some nice cups, get access to their exclusive store and different things if you're actually at Lambeau Field. So these will be reserved for Green Bay winning the Super Bowl. So I may never drink out of these.
Blue
But
Label will have to be drank out of. The libations will flow.
they will.
Libations.
I'll be sure
Use
to,
the vibrations, but
to film it. Yeah, that was my little nifty thing. Nice wood box.
that's fucking dope. That's very cool.
Classy.
Yeah, that is cool.
Oh.
So we all got some toys. All right. Well, you know, we talked about the theremin already, so let's move on to what's new in TV. The Last of Us. Did we all saw The Last of Us?
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw it.
Is there a second episode that came out
Now,
today?
have we all
I don't
played
think.
The Last of Us 2? That's another
I
question.
haven't played The Last of Us 2. I played The Last of Us 1, and I
Well,
loved
that's what
it.
I mean, like, as well.
Yes, we all played it, right?
No.
You never played The Last of Us?
No.
Did you watch the show?
Oh,
I
because
did
you
watch
didn't
the
have a
first
PlayStation.
episode of
What did you
show.
think of the episode? As somebody who's never played the game, what did you think of the show?
I thought it was typical, zombie apocalypse infected kind of, something that you've seen like a million times. It definitely would get me like interested to continue to watch it, and at some point I probably will pick up the game. But it's hard to kind of. I know that they kind of made up a bunch of videos where they kind of put side by side comparisons at the game, like scene for scene was like cut like the way the show was, but I don't have reference of that, so to me it didn't really matter. So.
Yeah.
I
was
remember
just
it.
interested
I remember
'cause,
some
like
of the stuff.
a lot of people who are watching the show know what's going to happen, which is a unique thing about a show. But I was interested to hear the perspective of somebody that doesn't have that expectation of like a fantastic masterpiece. If it draws in a consumer of the story the same way as it would if it was a video game. I think the video game was an absolute fucking masterpiece. I think Pedro
it was
Pascal
really
is
good.
killing it as Joel. I'd love to see how the show is going to continue to honor the video game. And I might dare say that this is so far, I mean, I know we're only one episode in, but this is probably the most accurate representation of a video game to live media I've ever seen.
Yeah, and solid
So,
debut at that.
It's 1-to-1. Everything about it was almost like exactly as it plays out in the game.
Is episode 2 out, or what
I
is the
don't think
date
so.
on
What-
that?
It's
No?
Sunday.
Sundays.
Sundays. Okay.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
But yeah, I mean,
go ahead,
Go
Ben.
Chris.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say for Joe, it's tough to ask a question like, "Hey, what do you think?" Because we've watched the first 60 minutes of the game. It's like telling "Hey, what do you think of the game?" I played it for a half an hour. You haven't seen what really, I think beyond Joel's daughter dying. Right now, you haven't.
That
hit
was
those
really
key
well done.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough to watch again. Even knowing it was coming, you were like, "Oh, this sucks." So they're world building. It feels like they're getting everybody comfortable with what happened, the timeline, and where are we in terms of like geography. So they did a really good job at getting people who haven't played the game ready
Yeah.
for the upcoming adventure and drama that's going to unfold. And I think it was like damn near 1-to-1, and that's just a credit to me. This whole show is just a credit to how good the storytelling in video games can be. It's still shunned or not widely accepted as a primary narrative telling medium.
Well, from what I understand, is it Neil Druckmann who kind of did the developing on the game?
Neil Druckmann's the lead writer
Because he had a lot of input on the show, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why you see it translate so well from the game, and that's kind of the reason why a lot of other, video game that try to do the same thing, Halo, Resident Evil, they just go Hollywood and they try to swerve you and change things up, and it just...
Oh, look, it's Master Chief's face again.
God,
It's Master Chief, and he's like a regular guy that like volunteers his time to teach kids how to play basketball on weekends.
fucking terrible. First of all, Master Chief would never take off his fucking helmet in a hostile fucking area.
Yeah.
Never.
But I remember you liking the show.
The first episode. After that, they took his helmet off. I had enough. Move on.
Yeah,
I don't talk about this.
I had a good laugh about that with my dad.
Oh,
Like, up, his helmet's off. Joe's mad again.
Fucking.
well, so for The Last of Us, Joe, I totally understand what you mean about like the zombie fatigue. The zombie thing has been done.
Also,
so many
like the
times
intro of it was a
before.
little surreal, being that we just came out of a pandemic and it talks about a pandemic and.
Yeah, but
Well,
you know
that's
what?
the irony
It
is that stuff
precedes
like
the
that.
pandemic.
This game actually came out in 2013.
Bro, I know
precedes
that.
the pandemic.
I know that, but it says 2023.
But it makes
resumes.
the points even more poignant because
fucking fungus, man.
well, so that's what I was gonna say is what makes The Last of Us different from most zombie things is how organic, I guess you could say, the zombies are, and that they're like a fungus.
Yeah.
And they even reference. And by the way, I'm pretty sure the guy in the beginning that's on the talk show talking about the fungus. I'm pretty sure that's Jonathan from The Mummy.
Definitely is.
He was
Remember The
also
Mummy?
he was also in the show Spartacus: Sands of Time.
Oh, was he?
yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, so but
Good actor.
he's talking about ergot,
Yeah.
which ergot is very interesting in history. It's yes, it causes, among other horrible things, will happen to you. It's not a good experience eating ergot, but it makes you like hallucinate. And there's actually a lot of events in history that they attribute to the possibility that maybe there was an ergot outbreak, like the Salem witch trials. They say may have actually been sparked because people were all fucking bugging out because they were eating poisoned rye that was
Yeah.
making them fucking bug out.
Yeah.
And they thought demons and fucking, and it got all tied up in religion.
And
There's
historically
a-
speaking, it wasn't even that long of a time period as much as we talk about it.
No,
It's not as long as people think it was.
Right.
yeah, and there's another like in history is called the Anabaptist uprising in the city of Munster, and it's a whole crazy story about these like religious extremists that just hijacked the city. But
I did
it
watch
turns
a
out that
video.
they were probably poisoned by ergot, and that's why they bought into a lot of this cult shit.
So there was a video kind of pinpointing how Joel and his daughter dodged getting infected.
Yes,
Like there was a point where she didn't eat cookies,
right,
and then the neighbor offered her a biscuit, and she passed on that.
right.
And then he talked about bringing home a cake, and he never
He
brought
forgot
the
the
cake
cake.
home. Forgot the cake.
Said it's in the wheat.
Yeah, it's in
Right.
the wheat, man. Stay away from the fucking gluten.
And then they also said that they reference like that there's some kind of like unrest in Jakarta. And apparently, I wasn't able to verify this with a Google search or anything, but apparently Jakarta is like the world's biggest exporter of, I don't know if it was wheat or flour or baked goods, but it would make total sense that the mold
I'll be the
just
first one to turn. I
manifests.
ate so much fucking cake and sweets during the wintertime.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's an interesting way, though, for mold to manifest. Like
I thought that was a nice touch that they added that.
It was like
talk to
coming in the house,
beginning of
he's
the
fucking
episode.
handing me pumpkin pie tonight.
And we don't even know if it's
Beautiful.
true, but
Fucking
it's just like something that is possibly hinted
Tell me
at.
and enjoy it.
So
I
there's
did.
already like back lore and like theories and stuff coming out that I don't think really were around during when playing the game. I'm really excited to see where it goes. When he gets shot with his daughter, like that, I'm pretty sure that's exactly. I'm trying to remember
Scene for scene, it was. I watched
Yeah.
a video of it.
because
Yes.
it's been a long time since I played it. But
I think that they did it smart from a marketing standpoint because they just released like a few months ago the remaster of that game. So
Yeah.
the story's fresh in my mind because I played through it like 3 times.
Right.
So I was enjoying the shit out of it. And yeah, I mean, not for nothing, like literal like lines from the game are lifted
Yeah.
and put into the show, like scene for scene. I mean, Joel's outfit is the fucking same. Like, it's sick.
Now they're
It's
trying
very
to
cool.
sell me that jacket. Actually, I keep getting ads on my Instagram about that jacket they have.
You should get it. You should be Joel for Halloween.
Renee asked if Vin is live from a dive bar. Vin's at the location where they filmed Cheers. No, he's at his mom's house in New Hampshire. He's all snowed in, so
And I always wanted a bar like
Fucking
that,
blizzard.
just like that. You know, when I have my own home, I'm definitely gonna have like a basement bar.
We got a
that's
little
gonna-
bar over there. It's
Yeah,
Nice. It's a full bar too.
you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
yeah, it's very dope. The Last of Us has been very good. I think we've all enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure being a game fan will make you a stronger show fan, but
Well, I think it's going to have the reverse effect, kind of like Cyberpunk show did for revitalizing people's interest to play the Cyberpunk game.
yeah.
So for someone like me who now has a PS5, and I'm looking for a reason to turn it on again because I bought it for Ragnarok and I already beat that. So I'm sure at some point once the show ends, I might pick up the remastered game of that. So
Unless Spider-Man 2.
What's that, Vin?
No. I was saying he said he only played Ragnarok, but he played God of War, the original remaster, right?
yeah, but I have nothing left to play, so that's why I haven't turned it back on.
But you won't play them.
What do we got next on the agenda?
Well, so yeah, The Last of Us has been very good. More to come on that. Another thing that we're looking forward to is next week we're going to be talking about the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble from 2000.
We should have finished with this because this is a big topic.
It is a big topic.
Bread and butter.
But we, yeah, you know,
Should have been the finish of the show.
right?
but
Well, what are you gonna do? We got a couple more deep things to get into. That'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, the Royal Rumble. I feel like we already know that Cody's coming back.
How do you feel about them spoiling that and not using it as a surprise
He already
entry?
had his surprise. You know,
I know, but it still kind of took a little mustard off of it, though.
You
don't
know why
think?
they said it ahead of time? Because they want people to fucking watch it.
You know what I?
Exactly. Who's gonna rent that shit?
People will be like, "Oh, the Royal Rumble. Oh, Cody Rhodes is back. Let's see what that guy's gonna do."
well, and
That's why
also
they did it.
apparently they what I read, and who the fuck knows again because we don't know shit. But apparently, what they said was that the reason why they were okay kind of spoiling that is because they have plenty of surprises that they think will give people that shock factor.
Well,
And they
they're
don't
rumoring
need-
that The Rock might come back.
Yeah.
Stone Cold might come back.
So can we go through like the rumor mill and kind of predict, or
They also
even
needed a little bit of news to kind of move on from the news we were speaking about last week. So that helped. It helped move the conversation away from Saudi Arabia acquiring the WWE.
To the actual.
I think
narrative
that's
of
one
what's
reason.
going
I
on.
think another reason is the fact that it's going to be on one of the biggest weekends of the year for the NFL. Football weekend this weekend, divisional rounds. So
Stupid.
for Royal Rumble unfortunately falls on the height of the NFL playoffs. So I think a little bit of incentive to kind of get people to kind of watch and see what Cody Rhodes is going to do. So I get why they did it. I just like the pop and the surprise factor of having someone who's been off TV for a year kind of show up at the Rumble. That's what
I feel like they already did that with the WrestleMania thing. Like they were very mum about it, even though
and that was
knew.
great. That was the whole
And it
whole
was,
highlight of the
but-
show for me.
But then, so we got that experience. Now we get a different type of thing where you get to look forward to it instead of like,
Expect it, and then it doesn't happen, and then you're waiting. Finally happens. You're like, see, I knew.
right.
Now we know. We already know.
So rumored aside, now that we know Cody Rhodes is officially an entrant, also rumored is Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's in fantastic shape. I don't know if you follow him on social
No,
media, but he's
he's-
been
He
cutting
keeps-
down
he
on the
keeps
beer a little
downplaying
bit,
it, too.
trying to slim down. What? The Rock is also heavily rumored for the Royal Rumble. The poster of the Royal Rumble also kind of revealed Cody Rhodes, and I think that's why they kind of came out and kind of just said, okay, yeah, he's going to be in it. But the Royal Rumble poster has like electricity going through it.
Well, The
which is-
Rock apparently
Could be
just
like a
said
little
recently
wink, wink.
he's not in good enough shape.
I heard
to
him
go
say
to
that, but
WrestleMania.
that could be a swerve.
But what they are setting up
could-
right now is on Raw 30th, not 30, right? 30 years, right?
the
It's a
30th
30-year
anniversary
Raw,
of Raw, yeah.
Raw Triple X. They have all of like Roman Reigns' family, which would include The Rock, because
Right.
he's part of that
I did it
bloodline.
for The Rock.
They're all going to pay homage to Roman
I did it
Reigns, and it
for the
would be a good
people.
thing if Roman Reigns is looking around. It's like, oh, everybody's here
If you smell
except for one person.
what the Rock is cooking.
I don't see him coming out. I don't see The Rock coming out. I see him not being there and his absence being felt and that being taken as an insult. Because if he's doing the whole tribal chief shit, like when a tribal chief is the head of the group, everybody's supposed to pay homage to him. And if there's somebody that's not coming and paying homage, then that can be taken as disrespect. So maybe they can use that as the launching point for.
If I had to make a prediction, I think they're leaning in the direction of possibly a Sami Zayn Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania.
I love that. I think that would be.
I mean,
great.
that's what the story has been so far.
It would be.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Sami Zayn wins the Royal
Rumble.
Rumble.
A very Kofi moment. When Kofi had his moment for a little while,
right.
Sami Zayn finally gets the. I mean, if he won the Royal Rumble, the audience would erupt.
But keep in mind that WrestleMania is 2 nights, so there's a night where you can actually defend the title, and then if Roman wanted to do 2 nights, he can wrestle The Rock for the head of the table match.
Right.
So,
yeah, I don't know. I want them to split the belts up already. It's to me. I
just want one belt, a unified belt.
But if you're gonna have 2 different shows, 2 rosters, you could have 2 champions. I think it just.
But they're all intertwined now. Like the Bloodlines on Raw.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like that shit. I like when you have separate brands. This guy's the champion, and Kurt Angle's the SmackDown champion, and Triple H is the Raw champion. And every now and then you might have the champs from both brands will battle against each other to see who's superior. But you have 2 separate belts, 2 separate brands. I don't like this. I have 2 belts, so I'm the fucking man shit. Like, they gotta...
So other possible entrants, Pat McAfee, Vin's boy, is rumored to be an entrant in the Royal Rumble.
I can see that.
At some point, Bad Bunny always comes out for the Rumble. Also rumored was Shane McMahon. His name has come up a little bit recently.
Well, he probably not because they got rid of him after the last Royal Rumble.
Listen, it's rumored, and then you also have Edge possibly, and Big E, who's been off TV for over a year now with the neck.
Has he?
But I feel like unless he was going to win it, that wouldn't do him any favors.
Somebody's got to win. Somebody's going to lose. 29 people are going to lose. Not everybody can win it.
I just feel like certain people, you're better off leaving if they're going to come back. Don't have them come back in a match that they're just going to immediately lose.
I can almost assure you that Seth Rollins is going to be number 1 and Cody Rhodes is number 2 in the Rumble.
I can see that.
Market 0.
What's up?
The reason I think The Rock would actually show or would begin kind of getting back in the mix is because he's 6 weeks, 8 weeks away from launching and I would say that a lot of those wrestling fans, loyalists, people who watch the old XFL, they're a good target audience for him. So I would, not that he's going to cross promote it and be like, oh, come watch the XFL since I'm here. But because The Rock has been so kind of removed, I feel like he's been a Hollywood movie star. Now he's got to get back to being the man of the people, kind of in my
millions.
And millions.
So I just think it would support the idea that maybe he comes out to get his name back in the mix. He's been dealing with all of the Warner Brothers fallout. He's not going to be Black Adam anymore.
Criticism there.
There's no plan to continue that. So I almost feel like for him, it's let's reset. Let's go back to our roots. Let's fucking, go back to the WWE for a little bit. Let's get the XFL off the ground. I think it wouldn't be a terrible idea for him to show up.
Just have a kind of go around and talk about, and if you don't have one, but favorite Rumble match or favorite Royal Rumble pay-per-view memories. You want to start it off?
I'll start it off. My favorite was the Royal Rumble from 2000.
I was there live
when Taka. I don't think it was Funaki. I believe it was
Taka
Michinoku
flipped over the rope and banged his head, and they kept replaying
gets chucked over the rope or whatever, and he fucking
Face
smacks
plants.
his head on the mat.
Bleeding.
And Jerry the King Lawler could not stop laughing. And throughout the rest of the entire match, he kept he would keep asking 9 times for them to replay the clip. It would be fucking 45 minutes later. He's like, I'm sorry, I gotta see the. Can you get that clip one more time? I gotta see that. And when he would fall, I can't do Jerry Lawler like Jerry Lawler can, but he'd fall and hit his head, and Jerry would be like, ding, and laugh his ass off. He just watch it. Watch the Royal Rumble from 2000.
That's
it's one
your
of the
favorite
best
memory?
Ones. I thought it was so fucking funny that Jerry Lawler would not let this clip go. He just kept asking for them to replay it. And I think other things happened during that Royal Rumble too. I think that's the one where Too Cool stopped the Royal Rumble to do a dance.
Yes.
Oh, what, Rikishi?
That was
Yes.
fucking classic. And then he chucks them both over the rope.
Yeah.
There was
And
a
he's
couple
like, I'm
of other.
sorry.
There was a lot of good matches on that card too, if I recall correctly. That arena, like the stage that they set with like the taxi cab, and No Mercy. It's unforgettable.
We've laughed about the Royal Rumble from 2000.
Royal Rumble from 2000.
So I
is
was
the
I
greatest
was
Royal
live
Rumble of
at
all
that
time.
show. I was a couple of rows past ringside, and that was the only Royal Rumble that I've been to live. So in terms of like live, I would say that's probably it for me because I was a huge Taz fan, and Taz
had his
debuted in the
debut. That was
WWF,
awesome.
and
Yeah.
he had the loudest pop of the night by
I
far
believe it. Yeah.
against the undefeated Olympic gold medalist
Kurt
Kurt Angle.
It's
damn
Who
true.
riled up the crowd beforehand and
Yeah.
told them how the Knicks suck and the Rangers suck and nobody from New York would ever amount to shit. Then here comes Taz from Brooklyn, came out and choked him out. So that was fucking awesome.
Which wasn't done back then. They, it was always like you tap out or whatever. Taz would actually just choke you until you passed out and win. And it was like, is it a victory? Is it not a victory?
Right.
I think Kurt Angle even like had it nullified.
If he choked me out, it's illegal. is what
Yeah,
he said.
yeah, exactly. So he had the loss nullified or whatever. But
Also on that show, you had the debut of a tables match, the first ever tables match
yeah,
in the WWF between the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. And you had the street fight with Cactus Jack and Triple H, which
Yep.
was really good.
That was,
That was a
really
great match.
Was that the retirement match?
No, the retirement match was the next pay-per-view after WrestleMania was a Hell in a Cell match. With
That was a retirement match.
Yeah. So this is like the start of their feud.
'Cause I remember him like putting him in a cage and like attaching it to a car and then dragging the cage or something like that. Yeah, I remember that. I remember him locking Foley in like this fucking like little cell and then like chaining it up to a car and then pulling it at some point.
Not ringing a bell. Rob, do you have any favorite memories of the Rumble before I go back to my favorite all-time Royal Rumble?
I do remember one time I was watching it with CJ when we used to watch all the pay-per-views together.
Right.
And we were doing the lots. I never gamble when it comes to wrestling or anything because I always fucking lose.
I bet on wrestling.
And of course, my number comes up, and it's the fucking Godfather. He came out with all these hoes. He goes in the ring, immediately
Gets
gets
thrown
them
out.
thrown out,
Yeah,
and then he just walks back out with all the
He
hoes.
dances back away. Yeah, yeah.
That would be my fucking number.
Godfather be pimping hoes nationwide.
Oh shit, that's probably it.
He went in,
Yeah.
got immediately thrown out, and he
like
just
the hoes didn't even
he,
have
like,
time to
danced
leave. Like
away.
he just came right back.
yeah.
Fucking attitude era, man.
Oh man.
But yeah, my all-time favorite Royal Rumble to watch, and I know that the 1992 Royal Rumble is heralded as like the best Royal Rumble of all time. That's the one where Ric Flair finally wins the World Wrestling Federation title. The title was
that
vacant.
Royal Rumble was for the belt itself, not for the chance.
It was. The winner of the Rumble became the world champion.
Yeah.
That's
and it,
not
wasn't
my
it
favorite
40
Royal
people
Rumble.
or 20 people? It was
30.
30. It was 30?
Yeah, there was a 40-man Royal Rumble back in the 2010 list that Alberto Del Rio won, but that's not in the 92
He
Rumble.
won that?
He did.
Oh my god.
It was terrible.
I believe Alberto Del Rio won that.
He
How
won
do
the,
you spell
he won the-
Del Rio? Get a dictionary. Rob.
But my favorite Royal Rumble of all time is the 1990 Royal Rumble. And I just want to read you some of the entrants in this Rumble. This Royal Rumble had more Hall of Famers than any other Royal Rumble in history. And just to go
I
down it,
already know Hacksaw Jim Duggan was in it.
Uh-oh.
well, you had the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Hall of Famer. Coco Beware, Hall of Famer. Marty Jannetty, could be Hall of Famer. Jake the Snake Roberts, Hall of Famer. Macho Man Randy Savage, Hall of Famer. Rowdy Roddy Piper, Hall of Famer. The Warlord, Bret the Hitman Hart, Hall of Famer. Bad News Brown, Dusty Rhodes, Hall of Famer. Andre the Giant, Hall of Famer.
In 90?
This is 1990. The Red Rooster, Axe of Demolition, Haku, Smash of Demolition, Hakeem, Jimmy Snuka, Dino Bravo, Earthquake, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, The Ultimate Warrior, Rick the Model Martel, Tito Santana, You
are garbage. Yeah. Garbage.
the Honky Tonk Man, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, The Barbarian, Ravishing Rick Rude, Hercules, and Mr. Perfect. Now, this was also the Royal Rumble where you got to see Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior collide for the first time, which led to their match at WrestleMania 6, where it was title for title, the World Champ versus Intercontinental Champ. And this was also the first time in the history of the WWF where they actually allowed two baby faces to actually go at it with each other. Right. They always kept it kayfabe, where it was heels versus
Sergeant
faces.
Slaughter bad.
Yep, but this one, they actually, this was like seeing Batman versus Superman as a kid. You got to see Hulk Hogan square off with the Ultimate Warrior in the Royal Rumble match. It was fucking awesome.
Who won that one?
Hulk Hogan.
Now, and Joe, this was in your prime. You were like, what, 8?
Yeah, 8 years old. Yeah, 8-year-olds, dude.
I was 3 years old. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, you could go back and watch it, and it still holds up because now, as an adult watching it and seeing like all of these wrestlers in their prime, it's unbelievable. Like Shawn Michaels, Andre the Giant, Bret Hart, Dusty Rhodes, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage,
so many of them were
in
there
one match. Like it's fucking nuts.
Because Dusty Rhodes and Hogan and Macho, all and among
Hard
others, all
time,
were
Piper,
WCW.
Snuka, Jake Roberts, crazy.
Another great Royal Rumble moment is when was it Batista and Cena? They both went out at the same time.
Oh, and then fucking
And
Vince McMahon tears both quads.
Vince McMahon comes walking down to the ring. God damn it! And he fucking tears his both quads. And
Both
then
of them.
sits. I remember him sitting on his ass in the ring with his arms crossed. I'm like, what is going on right
had
now?
to
Why
fucking
is,
hurt,
Why
dude.
is he
Oh,
doing
God.
it? And like he wouldn't let anyone see him too. Everyone ran away from him. Get out!
Get out.
Get out! There was a couple of cool Royal Rumble moments. I mean, the Shawn Michaels spot. Say what you want about Shawn Michaels, but when he went over the rope, and then he
Fuck Shawn
didn't
Michaels.
his toes didn't touch the ground, and he fucking pulled himself backwards
Yeah.
over the rope. That was a classic.
1995.
Kofi Kingston used to pull that shit all the time.
Kofi Kingston always had a lot of cool Royal Rumble moments. Actually, you're right. And John Morrison would.
He
too.
always had like some kind of like good gimmick
Acrobats,
where you think
yeah.
he'd be
That's
out.
how he made his name. He did some crazy shit. He's like fucking like I forget what he got on like stilts or
Didn't
something
he even
like
walk
that.
on like
He
the
did.
outer perimeter
Yeah, he
thing
ran
and
around
then
the
fucking
edge.
got
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
in the ring somehow?
He like jumped and then
The
ran
guardrail.
to the barricade.
Yeah.
Then one year, a couple of years ago, he actually missed and like fell and he was out. It was like but hey, he's got a good track record. Shelton Benjamin would do a lot of cool shit like that
Yes.
too. I really hope that they do something with Shelton Benjamin. They maybe bring back the Hurt Business. I think that'd be really sick. Shelton Benjamin's one of the best. I know you guys have no idea who that is, but
We're going to be watching the Royal Rumble live. This is in 2 weeks.
1 week.
Well,
right?
we'll see if we're able to watch it live because
It's going to be
We're
this.
gonna-
It's this Saturday.
we're gonna have a lot of people
Not tomorrow. The following Saturday, the 28th, January
Right.
28th.
So we'll be doing something for the channel, whether we're live.
We will. We
Right.
will. We're gonna have a little party here. You know.
We will have a Royal Rumble party
friend
at the
Jimmy's
crib.
gonna-
Well, actually,
be
so
here.
I mean, we could save it for Friday, but predictions for who's gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Prediction.
We want to give a concrete answer. I know we already weighed a couple of possibilities. You think Cody Rhodes, Vin?
I'm saying Cody Rhodes, but what do I know?
Yeah, that's
I think it's a
likely.
given. I think that's a given. Though I think that you would get a bigger reaction if it was Sami Zayn that won.
So that's my pick. So the fact that they announced Cody Rhodes, because as soon as Cody Rhodes got hurt, the first thing I said is, "Oh, he's coming back at the Rumble."
Oh yeah. We all
It's literally
and
on
I
on
remember
this
it seeming
podcast,
so
we said
far
it.
away. It was like 8 or 9 months.
I just
almost like almost a
calculated.
year.
Okay, he's going to be out for 8 months. 8 months is January. That's the Rumble.
8 fucking
Okay.
aprons.
8 fucking aprons on this guy.
Come back
Yeah.
and win.
So I think Cody Rhodes is probably like the most popular kind of choice. They also historically like to not give you the obvious. So the
Right.
fact that they're making it that obvious might not make it obvious. So
Except
Because he
in
can get
1990
into a
Hulk Hogan.
WrestleMania match some other
I'm
way.
going to call Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble right now.
I can.
I
think
are you
that would-
backtracking or are you agreeing with me? What are you doing? Because
Well,
you said Cody.
I think it'll be Cody Rhodes.
No,
but
I want to
would
hear.
like
I
it
want to
to
hear
be
a
Sami
definitive
Zayn.
answer right now. Not who you want, who you think. Vince got Cody.
This is the beginning of Cody's road to the belt.
Yes, it's the roads to
We'll have the belt
WrestleMania.
This year, no doubt. If he doesn't, it's an epic fail.
I just think that if they wanted to get him in the championship picture, still they could. Maybe he doesn't get it now, and then he's got to get back on the road to WrestleMania at No Way Out. That's always because there's one pay-per-view between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, not No Way Out. Is it No Way Out?
Historically, it's been No Way Out, but sometimes they change the name.
And
of
then
it.
after his backlash, yeah.
Right.
So you still got No Way Out to go. Maybe he or whatever they have now. Maybe he gets into the championship picture then. But I can't see them bringing him back not to win the Royal Rumble. But then again, they said that he's coming back at the Royal Rumble, not necessarily that he's coming back as an entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, he is an entrant.
They said as an entrant?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I think him and Seth are going to start it.
Yeah.
You think Hulk Hogan's gonna
I think
come
it'll
No.
probably end up being Cody, but I would prefer it to be Sammy. Do we know if Sammy's going to even be in the Royal Rumble?
Pick somebody. Cocksucker.
Cody. I'm picking Cody,
Okay.
but do we know is Sammy going to be in it or
Probably.
no?
Why wouldn't he be? What else is he going to do?
They might put him in a different match, and sometimes if you're in a match, you're not in the Royal Rumble. But that would be a funny dynamic because he wins, and then Roman Reigns turns on him, and the build up from there. But I can't see it.
I could see him winning the Royal Rumble and then him having the balls to challenge Roman for the title, and then the Usos turning with him and siding with Sammy, and then Roman attacks the Usos, which causes The Rock to come out and defend the bloodline because he picks on his siblings. And then I could see night 1 you have Sami Zayn versus Roman, and night 2 you have The Rock versus Roman Reigns. That's just my prediction. I could be wrong. I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, the two matches.
If I was booking shit, that's how it would go.
He's got 2 belts, so he should have 2 fucking matches, and then separate the belts.
One match
again.
against Sammy, one match against Cody, maybe.
Well, that's the thing is, I feel like you got to put Cody in the picture. So
What if Cody unifies the title back under the fucking golden winged eagle?
That's what I said in originally. I would love to see
He said
that.
he wants to bring it back. Yeah,
With
I mean,
one belt sitting behind you. It's
Yeah.
the best
Take
looking
it
belt
back.
of all time.
Best belt.
Best belt.
I think the next one was the best, but still,
No.
that's the Stone Cold era. That's the Rock
What?
era. That's the
I
golden era.
think so
It's not the golden era. That's the
It's
attitude
the
era.
attitude era. The golden era is that.
In my casual observation of like the WWE, I went to Raw earlier this year, or I'm sorry, last year. We both went, and Roman doesn't get that pop, that like champion pop. It's there. People cheer him on and give him his due, but it's like I feel like if Cody Rhodes came out, based on what we had seen at WrestleMania last year, it would have been like a roar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's time for a new era. Like let's
The Roman thing is getting tired. It's been like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. If you want to use The Rock to help facilitate it, because you're gonna use like, he's like a nuclear weapon. Like Stone Cold and The Rock, they're like nuclear bombs for the WWE. It makes a huge impact. It draws people in no matter what. You're casual, you're old time people who don't still watch. But in terms of what the new audience wants, like it was the whole reason Cody Rhodes came to the WWE, so he could be the fucking champ and he could flex. If he didn't get hurt, we would be so clearly on that path. But since he got hurt, ended up on the bench for 9 months. It's like, let's start it up. Why even hesitate? You know what I mean?
I don't see them bringing in The Rock. I don't think it's gonna happen because they don't need him. Like
True,
to what end? They can leverage Cody and Sammy. They don't even need The Rock. And not for nothing, they never really hinted that The Rock would be there. People just started speculating because it was in Hollywood. But I would be okay if The Rock wasn't on it. I love The Rock. It's always cool when he comes back, but he's had a couple of comebacks already.
Yeah.
I think that they could always pull The Rock versus Roman Reigns, a year or two from now. It doesn't even need to be
It's
now.
not getting any younger, bro.
He can't win the belt. You can't have The Rock winning.
I
the
don't
belt.
see. That's a whole other
That's
aspect.
what I'm saying. The Royal Rumble winner goes against Roman on Saturday night, and then WrestleMania is 2 nights. Then Sunday night you can have him go against The Rock. Now I could be wrong, but the one thing I will say is, based off of rumors, based off of the unknown, like we don't know what's going to happen with this company within the next few months. It could be gone. It could be sold. And historically, once a company's sold, it doesn't really have a longevity
Unless they
like
take it
lifespan
private.
with it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that enjoy what we have now, because this could be like the last McMahon-owned Royal Rumble, the last McMahon, televised WrestleMania. So just enjoy this next couple of months, because
we'll miss it one day.
I don't know. I think it's on its. I just don't know. Like, I don't want to sound like
It'd be foolish for them to stop doing it. because
I'm not saying stop doing it, but at the quality and the kind of care that's
the
put into
quality's
it.
been slipping for the last.
No. But it's been
Quality's been improving.
family owned by the same person for over 75 years. For them to kind of go, into a private route and kind of offset it and transition to a different
that's the
company.
thing is, it's
Anytime
not
another
really-
company gets their paws on something, they fucking ruin it.
So here's the thing. Taking the company private is what we've predicted, and we said it would make the product better since we started this podcast. It's been one of the main things we've said. Got to bring them private. They're too beholden.
The stockholders have them by the balls.
Yeah, there's too much. They're too tippy toe. They don't want to offend any. I think if you look at anything out there right now, edge always works. It always will work. They got to go back to having an edge, and I think it makes sense to bring the company private. The most clear and present example is Twitter. Not to say if it's good or bad. I'm just saying when you bring a company private, it gives the CEO
Gives a freedom.
Yes, the power to execute the vision, and all the people who invested in privately, all they want is their money back. They don't care about the perception of the fucking brand or what did they say on the last episode and were people offended. They can get away from that shit and really let it. They're just scared. Every storyline has a sense of fear, and you don't want to piss anybody off, so it just affects. Well, sometimes you gotta maybe annoy people or find where the edge is. They can't even find where that edge is. They're too scared to even go near it. So they're just like, what's safe? And, let's bring back Stone Cold and but that doesn't work for the future of the WWE. But if it goes private, I think it'll be better off. My personal opinion.
Well, more to come. Obviously right now it's just like the what's going to happen phase. So,
It's all speculation.
We'll probably cover this again the day before the Royal Rumble, but as of now, we have our Royal Rumble picks. If you have a horse in this race, who do you think is going to win it? Leave it in the comments
I
here.
think Sergeant Slaughter's going to win.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Any other surprise entrants you think you would like to see? I'll call it Boogeyman. Boogeyman will make an appearance.
Boogeyman versus Undertaker.
I'm the Boogeyman.
I met him. He was a really nice guy.
He seems like a nice guy.
Very, very nice guy.
The Boogeyman will make an appearance.
Someone said Ric Flair, but because he's been
Oh my God!
he's been lobbying for
Even
it.
if he
If
came
Ric
in
Flair
really
gets
quick, did a
thrown out of
dance,
the
and got
ring, he's
thrown
Did a
gonna
couple
out.
of chops, but I don't know
Yeah.
if he can go over the top rope. He might die. So
That's what I'm saying.
Poor guys. There's a new documentary coming out about. I just saw. I was watching. I was actually watching the 30th anniversary of the first episode of Raw, Monday Night Raw, and I will say it's hilarious because it looks like it's held at it's definitely not Madison Square Garden. It's like I don't know, one of the smaller New York City theaters. You could just tell it's so old WWF. Where they have the neon WWF.
well, that was the Hammerstein Ballroom. That was the
I about to
25th
say,
anniversary.
The Hammerstein Ballroom.
No, it's definitely Hammerstein.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious because
Been
when
there.
it's Vince McMahon and it's when they had Randy Savage as the commentators, and
Oh,
I'm listening and I'm like, this is so bad. Why would you have poor Randy Savage to make him a commentator? Just doesn't make sense.
because he's got the personality, but Vince was trying to get him to stop wrestling. He wanted to go with younger. So as a retirement, it's now you go into commentary, but apparently Macho Man was hard to work with, and he missed wrestling too. So that's why I went to WCW.
Well, he felt that he still had gas in the tank and
Right.
was wasting the rest of his career sitting there talking.
sitting around and trying to fight.
Yeah, so he ended up signing with WCW.
And the kid beat what was it? It was Razor Ramon. That was the big minish.
Oh, you took him out 1 2 3 Kid, X-Pac.
They just at the time they just called him the Kid. He didn't even have 1 2 3 in front of it. It was just
Yeah.
in parentheses the Kid.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
another nice guy.
We got some interesting things to come with wrestling, so we'll cover that again. But keeping the show moving, Rob, you said you got some movies. I haven't watched shit movies wise, but what'd you watch? Just
Oh
run down
yeah, I
quick.
ended up. I never get to watch newer movies and stuff. I always end up binging other shit. But I did get to watch the Glass Onion movie, the Knives Out sequel. I didn't see the first Knives Out, so I didn't have a point of reference. But I saw Daniel Craig speaking in his southern accent, and I was like, I have to see this fucking movie. So my friend Beth came over, and we ended up watching that, and we watched The Menu. And The Menu is
Haven't
kind of
heard of
a strange one.
Like a restaurant or something?
Voldemort plays a chef, and like it's kind of like a
Gordon Ramsay
psychological thriller kind of thing, and it's. I mean, I can't give away too much without giving away the entire plot of the movie, but basically they're all like rich people that like fucking like I don't know the chef guy fucking hates, and he just like invites them all to come to this like exclusive event where they're eating like this exclusive food. But it's almost like God forgive me, I like fucking get hysterical with like things are like ludicrous sometimes in movies, and like you almost laugh because you're uncomfortable like what the fuck they're doing in the movie, and like you just gotta watch it for yourself. You just gotta watch it for yourself. Like he just fucking straight up insults this guy to his face, and he's just like standing there taking it. I'm just like fucking hysterical. Yeah, it's like Ramsey on crack though. It's like
I love Gordon Ramsay.
I love Gordon Ramsay. You donkey!
Where are your standards?
You donkey!
You donkey! You fucking donut!
You fucking donut!
My nieces have just started getting into Gordon Ramsay, and I think it's the greatest.
Get out
thing
of my
ever.
fucking kitchen!
There's like this lady crying in a fridge, and my niece is just laughing. I'm like, this is
You're
great.
a fucking disgrace! It's raw!
Whoa! You're gonna fucking kill somebody!
Raw, you donkey! You ever see the clip where he's cooking? He's comparing his cooking to his mother's, and his mom calls him out. She's like, he's like a little undercooked in the middle. He's like, fuck, you're right. And she has this shit-eating grin on her face because she still knows that she's better than her son. Oh, I love that shit. He's him and that fucking I forget his name. The Italian chef that he's friends with. That guy's fucking hysterical. He was the one that was on that British talk show, and the girl says if you added ham to it, it would be like a British carbonara. And he's like, if my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. You know, it makes no sense what you say. He's like, it has nothing to do with the macaroni cheese. This guy's fucking like hilarious.
I don't even know you're talking about
and he's
Italian
friends
chef.
with Gordon Ramsay. And when they're together, it's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Because they're like legitimate friends. And like
He's a national treasure, man. Even though he's not.
That Gordon Ramsay has his own channel on any Samsung.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Dude, thank you for mentioning that. I was going to say, because my Samsung TV has this app that always turns on when I turn off my PlayStation or whatever. It's called Samsung TV, and it's just free TV. And there's one channel on there, and it's just called Kitchen Nightmares. And it's nonstop,
hilarious.
on loop, 24/7 Kitchen Nightmares. And it's the greatest fucking thing.
You know, they did a Kitchen Nightmares on Long Island.
Oh, there's the first episode that they ever aired is now the Post Office Cafe.
Oh,
It used
yeah,
to be
that's
called
right.
Peters, and it's this lug idiot.
Oh,
Yep.
I gotta watch that. I never saw that.
You never saw that?
Dude,
Yeah.
it's so funny. There's this fucking like big doofy Italian dude that like thinks he's in the mob pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was when the post office was next door, and then they had Peters next to that. And they eventually got absorbed.
Yeah, they've gone
but
for a long time now.
There's a couple episodes. You
There's a
see him
couple,
walking around at Babylon Station. And
Yep.
It was
Yeah, because right down the road from there, it's fucking hilarious.
yeah. But dude, Gordon Ramsay's the best.
Love it. So I watched. I've seen both. Very great. I would highly recommend them. Good actors. Kind of that Clue-esque, murder mystery.
Oh, for sure.
Who done it? Everyone.
Who
was
done
here.
it?
We've seen everybody. They were all right in front of us. How could somebody get killed? And then they go to, they get to the end, and it's funny because just like Rob's saying, you're watching James Bond with a Southern accent, so because we're so used to Daniel Craig as Bond. And he's the sleuth detective.
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
Yeah, he's got the Southern gentleman accent there. What do we say, Mr. Beauregard there?
Mr. Beauregard. No, well, it's what's his name from House of Cards? Frank Underwood.
Oh, yeah.
Now
fucking
look, Claire.
Claire.
Claire, I
But
do
then we'd always
declare.
make fun of that Alabama senator too.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey Beauregard Sessions. Beauregard.
Beauregard.
That is a real name, Beauregard, or Beau for short.
Yeah.
Jeffrey. So highly recommend. Those are good movies if you get the chance. I liked it.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoyed them both. We had, and I actually just so funny enough, being the real life Peter Griffin, you'd think that was more well versed in adult cartoons, but I started watching Bob's Burgers, and I had never seen that before, and it's pretty funny.
It's all right. The voices can get a little irritating.
The voices,
after a while.
honestly, sometimes are half the comedy to me because
Well, some of the
it's like
characters are
Archer
just
talking to
these-
somebody so different from fucking like Lana and all that shit. It's just hilarious.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, I haven't seen
Wait,
many other
do you
movies.
not?
I'll add those movies to my list behind Donnie Brasco.
Oh my God, Donnie Brasco.
So,
Piece of shit.
It's a
What a
sin.
Fucking guy. Still, Donnie Brasco.
You know what's gonna
We'll get
happen
there
during the
eventually.
during the Royal Rumble?
2023, Chris.
It's on every. It's like you can watch.
Fake
it.
your
Don't-
Johnson.
We're gonna pretend to do a Royal Rumble party, but we're actually gonna tie Chris down and force him to watch Donnie Brasco
You
instead.
guys will just quote it the whole time. So
I don't know the
movie.
movie like that, so I ain't gonna
Fucking
quote it.
Watch it alone by yourself at home in your own bedroom. But
He's
no.
too
Yeah.
busy getting Grand Theft Auto and Minecraft.
Grand Theft Auto. They added the taxi
He
thing.
hates he played Grand Theft Auto.
We gotta talk about that later. Yeah, GTA. They added a taxi mode now. You can actually do taxi
Yes!
missions.
I don't want to do taxi.
Yeah.
Now you can say hello, my friend. My friend, you come into
Don't
my
fuck
house.
me.
Friend,
Why
come
you
in the
fuck
back
me?
of the taxi, my friend.
I get you to the hospital.
Wait, Chris, can you pick up strangers and that shit, or is it only?
Well, no, it's like an NPC. It's just like a basic kind of taxi
You
mission.
lunatic.
If you do enough of them, then you unlock like a
Fernando's
more
new
powerful,
beginnings.
faster taxi and some
Nueve
liveries for some other. You can get your own car and make it look like a taxi and pick people up in it, but yeah, you can have some fun. It's a pretty good update. It's a little something, but apart from that, keeping things moving because we're getting on the we're at the hour mark. So, Vin, you said you wanted to talk a little bit about some robots. Is that correct? You said the Boston Dynamic thing.
Beep, boop, boop,
Yeah,
beep.
there's three things that have come like on our radar. I think like pop culture radar. Important technology. So like AI is the big. I think a lot of people. Chris has done the AI generated art and photography. So you upload.
Oh yeah, lots
20
of fun.
headshots of yourself and an AI algorithm.
Fucking stroke his ego even more.
Chris Donis over here.
I mean, they all look like me. It's not like it makes me, I'm fucking.
That's why he likes
They all
them.
gave me a beard. They all gave me a fucking glorious beard,
Because
which I
it
thought was funny.
knew that you had a beard.
Well, I fucking deliberately chose pictures without a beard, and it still kept giving me the beard.
My God.
This is where I take a bathroom break.
What if the AI knew it was stroking your ego based on your photographs of you with and without the beard, and it saw, hey, he's happier when he has it.
I think it's worse. I think it's people that are doing it, not AI. At this point, at this
What?
stage.
Why do you think people are doing it?
Well, they're fucking tickling the AI to do what it
Tickling
does.
it.
Is what I'm saying. It's not It's not autonomous yet. It's some asshole that's using it. But I mean, you know what?
I would say at the scale, it'd be very difficult to do that. But yes, there is still direction. The AI is given directives, so it doesn't go do whatever the fuck it wants. Basically, like
Every one of the
And-
photos
and
that
then-
I posted of that I had of it are usually funny or embarrassing because it paints you in some interesting scenarios.
the
Rob was
psychedelic-
in space falling with a slug.
Oh my
We got to
God.
get some of those pictures
are
on there.
fucking
Me and Rob
ridiculous.
were crying from the photos.
We
that
were
I
just
sent.
sitting there laughing. Like
You
at
do
all the
realize
shit.
we have social media channels that you can post all of this too.
Yeah, we got to
I
post.
sent
We'll
them to
put those
Chris.
on
I
the
thought he
socials
posted
today. Yeah.
Okay.
Chris has like 100 of them of me.
Oh,
He
yeah.
couldn't give them to me yet. So
They gave Vin like goat horns.
my
Fucking
God,
had one
the
of them. He
shit.
had like goat antlers.
We're just
So,
getting fucking stoned and look at these pictures and getting his.
But that's AI.
I bring that up. I bring up. Have you guys heard of Chat GPT?
I don't know what
No.
that is.
Is that the thing that writes code for you?
It'll write code. It'll write books. It'll write fucking papers. It'll write whatever you really want. So Chat GPT is a program that's written on top of what's called OpenAI. OpenAI is an open source platform where developers can use the AI for their own programs. So this program, Chat GPT, is really, it started as a language program, and you would just like type to it. You know how back in the day of AOL chat bots?
Yeah, you'd have those
like,
chat bots.
Hi. And hi, how are you? It would just have, and you'd be like, oh, I'm talking to the computer. Now that's really happening. There's a little bit more, they've unleashed a little bit more powerful AI for like everyday users to use. But it creates a lot of problems. Obviously, every university, because kids are gonna, I'd be like, shit, I need a paper. Apparently, what you could do is something along the lines of this. You could say, this is Elvis. So, like, write me a paper about Elvis's journey from childhood to death. Let's just say that's the thing. And it would just give you like a boom biography that it would write up itself based on all the data it could gather about the subject. And you could do that for anything. It really can be done for anything, and it's almost scary good. So it brings up a lot of, to me, like, AI is not something that you would ban. You don't ban it from schools. Like, it's like banning computers from schools. It's going to assist.
But what if, hold on. What if they use the AI to bully my daughter?
Well, there you go. There, definitely.
Then she can use the AI to fight back.
Write a script. She'll use the AI to battle back, and that's what starts the nuclear war. It's two fucking teenagers using the AI to argue with each other.
Actually, the computers start fighting each other. It creates the Terminator.
It's a proxy battle.
Dun, 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 dun.
Learn the computer.
About the battle, then I think of those two things. I'm just thinking about everyday uses of AI. Like, when we think of AI, you think of HAL 2000 from can't think of
2000
right
Space Odyssey or something.
Yeah, 2000 Space Odyssey. You think of like nefarious AI, but I just look at it and I go, technology is always so incremental. It wedges its way into daily life without you realizing it, and then
Life finds a way.
You turn around and I watched the new Jurassic Park, by the way. What a piece of shit that was.
Damn.
But then I think about the they just released the Boston Dynamics video of their AI assist robot. I wish we could bring up the video, but whatever. It's
Get
available.
some stuttering when we do that.
I mean, all it is a robot that
Can keep its balance. It's able to jump. It's able to, stand on one foot without falling over.
It can do flips. It can model human movement. And I feel like that's funny that they made it do that, because human movement is like the most inefficient.
Yeah, but it's shaped like a fucking potato sack.
It's shaped like a Ninja Turtle. I always look at it like it's got the big shell with the battery and the computer. But I mean, shit, we're right on the verge. It's interesting. Really on the cusp and the beginnings of what will be an AI and a robotics-driven economy, probably from like 2050 and on, and we're gonna live it. We're gonna watch
certain things. I've always said in our lifetime, I think maybe at the ends of our lives, or maybe even a little after we die, but within the next like 100 years or so, 200 years maybe, people will not be allowed to drive their own cars. If you want to eliminate traffic, if you want to eliminate accidents, you have to totally remove human beings from that equation. Because as long as there's some dickhead that wants to drive fast, and or is drunk or whatever the fuck, you're always going to have these things like traffic and accidents and disasters. And I think there's going to come a time where they realize the only way to fix this is if we have a fucking system that's managed. And there's going to be people who don't want to give up their right to drive, like my brother, who's a fucking gearhead mechanic. They're going to be like, you can fucking tell me I can't fucking drive my fucking car. But I think that's going to be a battle, a legal battle or whatever, or something that people are going to have to face within the next 100 years, is driving cars. Once autonomous vehicles become good enough, you have to create a system that can manage all of that shit.
They're already starting to implement robots and computers into our daily lives. I mean, you go to a Stop and Shop, there's a fucking robot rolling around with googly eyes.
Googly eyes.
My friend was telling me that there's like a a ramen shop in Smithtown that has a fucking robot that serves you your food.
Well, there's a fully automated
insane.
McDonald's in Texas that has no employees.
Concept
It's
place.
have employees, but yeah.
It's got employees in the back or whatever that manage the
Yeah.
machines.
Customer-facing side of things is all robotic. It's all driven by.
They've been doing that shit for years, though. Like, you go to, first of all, Applebee's is like the worst fucking restaurant you could ever go to. But if you go to an Applebee's, and it's great because you
I like
used
their
to go
food.
into an Applebee's and nobody greets you. You're standing there for 20 fucking minutes, and then finally some fucking teenager sits you, and then you wait for another 30 minutes for your waiter. You don't even have fucking menus.
Those
utensils.
fucking places.
But now,
Chili's is the same.
but now
fucking-
you can go in and seat yourself. You scan the, like, you just punch the shit into a machine, and somebody runs out the food to you, and you know it eliminates that whole thing.
I like
Well,
that.
that mean I don't
and
have to
and,
tip
and,
too.
and it caters to like the introverts that don't like having that social
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
God.
Well, not only that, the restaurant doesn't want to pay the health benefits and minimum wage and everything else. So it's really in the restaurant's interest. That's where that's going to come from. Like, to your point about the cars, it won't be a battle. You know why? Insurance companies will give people that have autonomous cars cheaper insurance rates to begin with. So for the first like 10 years, you would just get a car that has.
They would
that
start by
incentive.
incentivizing people for sure, and that would catch, you catch a lot of flies with that, honey. But there's still
Yeah.
gonna be the diehards that are gonna be like, over my fucking dead body, will you ever take my?
I don't think it'll ever truly
They
go
won't-
away. There's always
but
going to be some form of it,
Be
but
allowed
it's,
on federal interstate highways. 'cause
Right,
that's
they're gonna
federal-
start regulating it in a way that they get squeezed out.
Just kill me
Um,
at that point.
It'll be like
Well, I mean,
28.
hey,
We'll be
if
dead
if
before
there's
then
a
anyway.
system, if I don't need my, you think about how much money you spend on your car and how much time you really get to actually
they're
fucking
just going
be
to
in it.
change people's minds over generations so that they just lie down and take it. You know what I mean? That's what they're going to do. They'll teach it,
well,
and
people are always
to
gonna
the, to the
be-
youth. Oh, cars are bad, and then they'll just be raised to think that they're bad.
No, well, that's not how it works. You're not raised to think it's bad. It just bleeds. It's gone. It bleeds away. It no longer
Yeah.
exists.
It's this is
Because
better, so this is what I'm gonna do.
This is what I know. These kids are born into the age of the iPhone or whatever. They don't know the world. Can't
It's
teach
like
them.
taking a bus ride everywhere then.
Taking a bus, but if you could have a personalized concierge service that would just have an AI car drive up from whatever facility, drive you where you gotta go. It can stay at that facility. You would eliminate the need of driving somewhere and then driving the car back. I just feel like it would fix a lot of society's problems, but it would also cause some problems, and there's definitely going to be people who wouldn't want that. I'm just saying, that's one of my random theories that I have. I think that eventually people will not be allowed to drive. It's going to have to be all AI. And I think that's the only thing that's going to be able to fix it.
Anybody who ever has sat in traffic in their life would. If you've sat or you're sitting in traffic
Today.
you'd be like, "Fuck these people. Fuck their ability to drive."
You
Yeah.
should just sit in
That
the car with
lady-
Rob. You'll hear every fucking goddamn.
And you know what? It's always some bullshit fucking fender bender accident and it's like this is
Guess
why.
Guess why?
This is
You were
it.
looking at your phone while you were driving.
No, the
Well,
best
that
is when the
too.
fucking traffic is on your side and the traffic is on the opposite fucking side of the highway. So what?
you
It's just a
gotta
bunch of
look, you
assholes slowing down to fucking look. What do you want? Oh, look, I saw a dead body on the fucking highway. I feel so special.
Yeah, I don't even wanna see
What the
this
fuck are you looking at? Just
But that's the
fucking
thing.
drive, you
Hey,
stupid
but a
fucking
robot
car.
doesn't care.
Stupid
That's what the
fucks.
Tesla doesn't do. The Tesla don't slow down to look. And you're
Yeah,
on your
that's
phone,
exactly
so you
it.
don't
A
realize.
robot isn't gonna, or an AI is not gonna give a shit about rubbernecking. So,
The robot's
just
not going to
saying,
be
I
like,
think-
oh, shit, look at that.
oh,
Can you do
that's
that for me again? Let me do that. Let me hear that again.
if
Oh,
you give
shit.
it personality.
Check it out. That guy's totally splattered all over the highway. Let's slow down and look.
Dine on turtle soup.
That's what it sounds. I was trying to.
Well, if you bring it up here, it sounds like him.
So, yeah, we got some shit, cooking with AI. I don't fucking know. I think that it's just
No.
inevitable.
Inevitable.
And these people are gonna keep developing this shit. Soon enough, you're gonna have like fucking bug-sized drones are able to fucking patrol and
You're not going to have to go anywhere. You're going to upload your consciousness to a fucking computer, and then you're going to die and release your organic form.
You
So
know,
this
if
way
you
your
make it
consciousness can live
like
forever in
Grand
the
Theft
computer.
Auto, like a Matrix, I can hang out in all day. I don't give a fuck. That's fine by me.
Well, you'll be
I'll play in
dead.
the
Like,
Matrix.
a version of you is going to live on, but you're going to be gone. You don't
Maybe.
get to experience that.
Which version?
But a
is real?
computer is going to think it's you.
The
and
statistics
continue to
of my
do that.
gameplay will live on forever.
Dude,
All right, so let's move on to our final topic, and that is layoffs. You're
Dun, dun,
fired.
We got laid off.
Who got laid off? A lot of fucking people all over the fucking country and world are getting laid off right now, especially in the
fun.
tech sector. Where really our focus today is what's going on with Microsoft, right? So what's the situation there? They are acquiring Activision Blizzard, but now they're laying off tons of people. Bethesda's game department, Halo's game department as well.
Yeah, 343 lost people as well. And a lot of former 343 developers came out and said, what the fuck? You guys have fucked up this development on this game since like a year ago, and now you're getting rid of more talent. And those people, they said, like these former developers were like, the people working on Halo fucking love it. Like they really are invested in making it great, and it feels like the leadership does everything it can to prevent it from becoming what it could. And I'm
It's like anywhere you do.
That's my opinion on Microsoft in general. Literally what they're good at doing.
It's every company, bro.
Getting in the way and ruining good IP is like Microsoft's bread and butter. It's like they love acquiring shit. They're like, yeah, we're going to do the Zune, and we're going to do the touch tablet, and we're going to do this. And then they forget about it, and they move on to the next thing. And you're like, but what about Xbox? And it's your most popular consumer product, and everyone who plays Xbox loves Halo. So there's evidence to support the fact that the game did not get the attention that success. That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of layoffs everywhere in the tech sector. I mean, I think Google laid off a bunch of people. You know, a lot of companies that are close to me that are laying people off. You know what I mean?
Didn't buy Blizzard Activision. That's what became the, like, I'd say obvious question. Well, why did you fucking buy these people? Afford it, because now you're laying off people who worked on Starfield, and they're like, we haven't even launched Starfield yet. We need these devs because when the game launches, we're gonna have problems.
Right.
And it's just like it lacks the foresight. So it's a good question. I don't know why go acquire all this IP and not support it. You know,
Well, you slim down before you try to, you know, acquire something that's that expensive, because they haven't acquired it yet, right? Isn't it being blocked or?
Yeah, I would say the check is cut, like the money is spent, but because it's legally, you know, you'd say it's in escrow. It's in an account waiting to be delivered, but until all the governments approve of it, that money can't move, you know, because the deal hasn't been approved by regulators. So, I mean, Microsoft could pull out if they wanted to. If it's not approved, they're gonna have to find a new for it. But
here's what I'm saying: it doesn't mean doom and gloom for Xbox or Microsoft or Bethesda or whoever. But no. What I'm saying is, it doesn't necessarily mean that. But what it does definitely mean is that they're slowing down growth. When you are making cuts like that, you are gonna have to make a sacrifice somewhere. It doesn't mean that they won't support what already exists. Maybe it does, but it definitely means that that you're gonna have to slow your growth. Because if you're cutting your staff, you can't do that and simultaneously grow, and that's a way to justify layoffs. Is if you're not in a growing stage right now. Right now we're not growing. Then that's usually a way to kind of justify, like, well, that means we don't need these teams that are meant for growing, research and development, or whatever it may be. So,
Halo Infinite isn't growing in player, you know, amounts, like daily active players. It's not growing; it's receding.
Yeah, I do think that they bank on goodwill a little bit too much, almost like how WWE does when the TV's not that good. You know, they're banking on our goodwill as fans. That, you know, it's good, like, you know, and I like Halo. I don't hate it as much as you have made yourself hate Halo. Then, well, you don't want to play it.
It's a really good game.
What's that?
Halo Infinite has a solid foundation.
It's a very solid game. I love it. I was playing it the other day.
Is fucking just really good.
We have to play. You know what?
The problem with the game is within that. What?
Points over Ben. Microsoft's gonna fuck it up. I'm sorry. It's like they're so good at that. They're just so good at fucking up a good thing.
I don't think it was fucked up, but
No, they're fucking it up. It's not that it started good. It had a lot of promise. Like
I like
Yeah.
the campaign. The online, I don't know. I'm not an online
the
guy.
one was good. I mean, it needed a little bit more. Why don't they have assassinations? I mean, the same.
It was
complaints.
the content. It launched with a very bare bones season pass.
Yeah.
It launched with a very bare bones progression system, and the progression system gave you loot that you really didn't give a shit about. It was all really minuscule cosmetic stuff, armor, shaders that didn't really like do much to it. If you look at like year one Destiny 2, where it had like Eververse stuff and it had like pay to play, they've completely revamped that, and they've actually put out really cool cosmetic stuff now in Destiny 2, emotes and different skins and shaders to kind of customize your character. Halo just, I don't know, they just didn't do the right thing by that. They kind of, it kind of felt like a traditional Halo game where it was a couple of years behind. It just didn't evolve with like the current trend of like season pass, like Call of Duty and Fortnite and things like that have all these big other IPs attached to it. Like Fortnite has had every fucking guest character come and go, and that's what's kept the game revitalized, and they're constantly dumping more money into that. They have toys, they have all this other stuff. So Halo, the foundation of the Halo gameplay in Halo Infinite is great. I think it's the best playing Halo game since Halo 3. I've said that multiple times on the channel. It just didn't have the follow through once the game was kind of released, and we played it religiously, I think, for the first 2 months, and then we kind of fell off. So
All other stuff
It
came
is
out.
hard. It is hard
I
to
hate
keep people's attention, though. That's the thing.
I just
You know,
hate
it's-
Microsoft. They're so good at doing this. They're so good at doing the same exact thing. Like just suck at the
it's
reason
not
that
it's
they-
not Microsoft. It's 343, dude. It's not Microsoft.
No, that's not true because
Well, you have Sea of Thieves, which is still a successful game that you guys play regularly, and that's a Microsoft game. So it has to do with the 343 studio. 343 has not released a successful fucking Halo game yet.
Sea of
They've
Thieves
botched
is
every
not-
fucking Halo release, and that's it. 343 is a failed fucking company. That's all it is.
So yeah, and it's Microsoft to me because Rare is a good developer. Rare does a great job. They have
Rare
one
hasn't
game.
put out a game in fucking 10 years.
Well, Sea
They
of Thieves
focus
is
on
rare.
Sea of Thieves.
Huh?
Sea of Thieves
Sea of
is-
Thieves is rare.
They do Sea of Thieves. Like Rare is really.
When did
good.
Sea of Thieves release? 2000 like
It's a couple years old.
2000
Stuff
no.
Like,
2018 maybe?
Is it that old?
Yeah. It's an Xbox
Yes.
One game. Yeah.
So like my point is like when you have a good developer, especially like Bungie with Destiny, Bungie did the right thing. They got away from Activision, so they weren't luckily involved in this whole acquisition shit because that's what would have happened actually. Oddly enough, if Bungie stayed with Activision, Microsoft would have acquired Activision, and Bungie would have became a Microsoft company. Oddly enough, they dodged that. And as soon as they were able to get rid of Activision, they were like orders like, oh, we need this, we need Destiny to have these things. Like once they could tell Activision, fuck you, they got better. They knew what their players wanted because that's what they're focused on. I think for 3, they're just saturated in Microsoft executives because Halo is a property that TV shows, movie potential, all this other shit. Sea of Thieves
Books.
does not. Any other Microsoft property does not. Halo is Microsoft's flagship fucking thing outside of like Windows. You know what I mean? Like when you think
Yeah.
Microsoft, you think Halo.
It's the
basically.
selling
When you
point
think
for
Xbox,
Xbox.
you think Halo.
It was always
And they
the
just-
selling point for Xbox.
And they just, I want them to succeed. I want it to be great. And I just know Microsoft so well. Zune, any other project in the past, you point at Microsoft, it's dead.
They
Like,
dropped
don't-
support for it. It's just like the Xbox One, how you were able to plug a TV, HDMI into it and watch TV while you played. But it was never really good because it took up a whole sidebar. It never did the picture-in-picture. It had a whole fucking bar underneath it. And then they dropped support for it entirely.
It's like, oh, we don't want to.
But-
That's not. And you're like, what? I mean,
The Zune, the whole feature for the Zune was that you were able to... I had a Zune. It was fucking awesome. You were able to share music with other people who had a Zune so they could listen to it for free. But nobody else had a Zune.
because you know why they did that though? Because the
Yeah.
iPod couldn't. Microsoft is driven by like what their competitor can't do versus
Right.
what they should enable. It's weird. They're always, I don't know. They lack clarity in what they really want every time, and
They just have like universal goodwill where people will buy it, even if it's not that good.
I loved it. I thought Halo was the best franchise. Period. End of sentence. I don't think there's a better main than Master Chief.
But I think part of it, Vin, does require you to loosen up a little bit and play some Halo again. It's been a long time. Come back to the game.
Never said, "Oh, I won't play."
I know you didn't. I'm just saying we haven't played in months.
What? See, and that's the thing that I love: the camaraderie. When we're playing together, it really doesn't matter.
So you've been both bitching for months about playing games. Well, PlayStation Premium just released WWE 2K22. It's the PS4 version, but it was free if you subscribe, and I do have the PS Premium Pass.
I'm not doing the console battles.
What?
Sony didn't lay anybody off yet.
No. He's saying we
Fuck
can
are you
play.
talking
He's saying
about?
we can play the new WWE game because he got it. I just don't know if it's going to be cross-gen
I
between.
think, well, from what I understand, it is because I was able to go onto the content creators app and download my shit that I made on my Xbox. So I'll have to test it out. We'll have to kind of play with it. But if all four of us have the WWE game, that would be fun to play.
Oh, we got to throw a beat down on
Fatal
somebody. We got an
four-way.
8-man.
We might as well do that next Friday then. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Play some.
Before
Do our own Royal
Royal Rumble. Yeah, before the
Or
Royal
that,
Rumble.
or we could always go back to the WCW NWO Revenge
No Mercy.
Royal Rumble where I beat your ass
my
as
God.
Scott Steiner.
Jeez.
No, I fucking destroyed 90% of the people, and then you fucking eliminated me right at the end. Piece of shit. I did all the work.
What wasn't it like? What
I
did it
forgot
come
who won
down
that.
to?
I was fucking eliminating everybody.
Wasn't it like Chris Benoit versus?
And I had like
Yeah,
some
yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
retarded Frankenstein character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't use
So-
that word.
I did have one point to the Microsoft thing real quick that I think is a good talk about. You said like efficiency and you can't grow when your teams aren't as big. Sometimes that's the opposite. Sometimes when you get rid of your shitty players and you have your A players, Steve Jobs quote, you get better performance. A players want to play with A players. You keep your talent and you get your best products out of those. Also, if you're getting rid of talent, what tends to happen is that those developers who come from big studios will go start small studios. And that's where new IP comes from, and that's where new creative ideas come from. It rarely comes from a large publisher. A lot of cool content and come game ideas and mechanics come from indie devs and small devs. So if they had to lay off some of the Microsoft devs, those guys are not going to stop developing games. Find a new path, whether with themselves or in a smaller team. I think Unreal Engine 5 and all the upcoming next-gen creation tools will enable guys, people like them to go do something on their own. So you could see a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Before we close shop, I do want to just get some of the comments here. Exacta TV said, I still can't believe Joe even got a PS5. I thought he was Xbox forever. Trust me, he didn't do it without lots of protest. Then he said, I'd love to hear Joe do a Gordon Ramsay impression.
Roll, you fucking donkey!
Hey, there he is. Not bad. Not bad without any practice there. You fucking donkey! You're gonna fucking kill somebody!
Stay with me. I am an idiot.
I'm an idiot sandwich. But then there's like the good side of Gordon Ramsay where like he turns out he's a good
Like
guy.
if there's like a little kid, he's just
the
like
music
turns
starts
into a
playing in the
different person.
background, makes you feel good.
I know you're trying very hard. I know you're giving it all you got.
Jesus, you've given up, haven't you?
For fuck's sake.
You've given up.
When he fucking rarely likes
can't
the food,
quit.
I love that shit.
You can't quit.
I realized before we could fix your restaurant, we have to fix your marriage. Yeah. Fucking that's usually what
It's
it
like
is.
a Game of Thrones character.
Oh man, he'd be one hell of a lord. One other thing too, Exacted said, my job just got rid of a few jobs because they installed $1 million robot arm that can do the job faster. It's
It sucks.
it's
I don't know what we're
I
gonna
mean it
do.
makes sense, but it sucks. Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Universal basic income, baby. Woo!
Yeah, we'll see.
Transformers.
All right, Robbie,
replacing-
take us home. It's that time of the night.
Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to another riveting episode of the Break Room Podcast, talking about tech and all that kind of stuff. This is some hot takes, but we actually forgot to show these guys off. I wanted to. These guys came with my Proton Pack. These are little Stay Puft Marshmallow dudes that were from the new Ghostbusters movie. They're adorable. They come with little faces. They have like 3 alternate heads. They gave you 3 of these guys, but that was really cool. Like I said, I'm going to get some batteries in this Proton Pack, and maybe we'll show it off on the show next week, or I'll do a video or something. But once again, thanks for tuning in to the Break Room Podcast. If you like the show, please tell your friends, like, comment, and subscribe. Snoochie Boochies, and may the force be with you.